Do not move to St. Johns County, Florida without knowing these 7 things. That's what today's video is going to be all about. We're going to be sharing 7 things that you need to know before you make the decision to move here. All right, if you're new to this channel, my name is Melissa Anderson. I am with eXp Realty and I am your St. Johns County, Florida realtor. You're in the right spot. Every week I release new videos on all about the area, St. Johns County, Florida, St. Augustine, Ponte Vedra, to really help people discover the area, what it's like living here, moving here, relocating, all of those things. And that could be you. So I help people every week with finding their new home here in this area. So if that sounds like you, here is my contact information. I just wanted to share that real quick. You can take a snapshot or I'll put it in the description below. Feel free to reach out. You can call, you can text, you can email, and it'll be me who responds. So welcome to the channel. All right, let's get right into it. So like I said, the title of this video is Do Not Move Here without knowing these 7 things. So these are not going to be, maybe you're familiar, these aren't going to be groundbreaking. But they're topics that get brought up a lot. And number 1 is going to be property taxes. So according to Wallet Hub, they kind of ranked 51 states, with number 1 being the lowest property tax to 51 being the highest. And Florida ranks number 24 on that list for highest property taxes out of the list of 51 states. And can you guess number 1? Number 1 with the highest property tax is New Jersey. So we have a lot of folks moving from that area down here to Florida. So you're actually going to save money. So again, Florida is number 24 out of 51, with the highest being 51 property taxes. So just be prepared for that. If you're, when we're looking at properties, of course, the property tax information is disclosed. That information is readily available. And I share that information with my buyers if we're looking at a house. Hey, just FYI, here's what this property taxes were this past year. That kind of goes hand in hand. I didn't make this a separate item. I kind of included it, but because it goes with property, and that is property insurance. Again, property, Florida is not number 1 for the highest property insurance, but it may be higher than where you are coming from. So especially if you're coming from California, Florida property taxes are going to be higher. However, I recently had somebody looking into that, moving from California here to Florida, and her property tax was only going to be $250 more per year than what she was paying in California. So that doesn't sound as scary, right? And then just because I love trivia, I love facts, Oklahoma is number 1 for highest property tax insurance. And I'm sure you probably guessed there's a lot of tornadoes that go through there. So just so you know. Number 2 of don't move here without knowing these 7 things is summer thunderstorms. So in the summer, pretty much here in Northeast Florida, almost every single day between like 3 and 4, we have a quick little thunderstorm. The sky turns black. It's a torrential downpour. It lasts a few minutes. The sky's clear and we go about our day. It's kind of funny because it's like, you'll be grocery shopping and like, oh, it's, what time am I going grocery shopping? You hear the torrential downpour outside, the thunder, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna just hang out here for a second. It ends and you go out. But it's almost every single day in the summer, but just be prepared for that. And just so you know, it's not like an hours-long rainstorm that you might find up in like the Northwest where, it's raining for hours. No, it's a quick thunderstorm. It kind of cools things off for a little bit. Yeah, it adds to the humidity, but you're done. Number 3, get this a little bit. So if you're looking for a large international airport, of course we have Jacksonville International Airport that you can fly in and out of. I've found that they do keep adding flights, and airlines keep adding flights there, but sometimes it's a lot cheaper. Like we'll go down to Orlando if we're going somewhere. It's for some reason it's cheaper to fly in and out of Orlando than it is Jacksonville, with Orlando being a bigger airport. So just keep that in mind if you're traveling a lot. As this area continues to grow, I'm sure the airport will as well. But for right now, that's how it is. But we also have the Northeast Florida Regional Airport. It used to be known as the St. Augustine Airport. It's right here, really close to me, on right off of US 1. And they have just started adding back flights, and you can get direct flights or some like from here to Maine, New Jersey. I think there's one to, I wanted to say New York, but I'm not quite sure. But they are adding flights to that, and that's really convenient. And then you can also take private charters, planes out of that airport as well. Number 4 on do not move to St. Johns County, Florida without knowing these 7 things is humidity. So I kind of touched on that on the summer thunderstorms. It just does not work for some people. They just cannot get over the humidity. I've lived down south. I am from Arkansas originally. I'm used to the humidity. Do I like it? No. Can I deal with it? Yes. As someone who has naturally curly hair, it is not ideal, but it is what it is. And I always argued with people. I'm like, well, this, yeah, it gets humid, but like this doesn't feel as humid as like what I was brought up in. Like Arkansas, just with the heat index, it was just so hot. And yeah, but yes, Florida is the most humid state in the US. However, the southern part, especially like Tampa, is way more humid than we are here in the northern east part of the state. Key West is the most humid. And I just got some stats. So August is the most humid month, 81% humidity. The least humid month is January at 65% humidity. And the average, they say, is about 75% throughout the year. You know what? You adjust to it after a while. Just like with our temperatures, I've mentioned before, after you're here for a while, everything below 70 degrees is chilly. Like we wear jackets. That's below 70 is really chilly to us. And it's amazing how your body just adjusts. So, number 5, again, when people hear that you live in Florida, this gets brought up a lot, is alligators. So I'm just going to share some things about alligators. Guys, I could not tell you the last time I've seen an alligator out in the wild. Are they out there? Do they sometimes get into certain neighborhoods, into the retention ponds? Yes. I could not tell you the last time I've seen one. So, but it happens. So you just have to be prepared. The odds of you seeing an alligator are slim to none. Really. I mean, it's not as big of a deal as people make it out to be. But I have seen them here before. So I just wanted to give some background on this and why you may see them. So April is mating season, and the male alligators, they kind of attach themselves to a certain territory, and it's the females who travel. And because, certain areas, there's construction, there's things getting moved and the whatever, alligators have a really good compass, and they're going to go whichever way they're used to getting to these areas again. So that's why you may see them coming through neighborhoods or whatever, wherever they're traveling, they're going to try to go that distance, that same area that they went before. So April's mating season, around May and June, they'll lay their eggs. And then, June and July, they'll lay their eggs, and then those eggs hatch around August, September timeframe. Now, because I just mentioned they have a really good internal compass about how to travel and get back to certain areas, if an alligator is over 4 foot and say it's in your local neighborhood, like retention pond or something like that, or you keep seeing an alligator a certain area, and it's over 4 foot, then you can call a trapper and they'll come get that alligator. And it's what's called a nuisance alligator. And just so you know, they do not relocate these alligators. They're not taken out anywhere just because I said they have a really good compass wherever they try to, even if they released them to some remote part that's really far from where they're from, they are going to attempt to go back to that area. So those alligators are put down, just so you know. The best thing to do is to not feed the alligators. You don't want them getting used to people. But that's the situation with that. Hurricanes. So that's another topic. Don't move to St. Johns County if you are just really freaked out about hurricanes. I'm going to share a little video clip I did that kind of discussed hurricanes, like what the scale system is, the last major hurricane we came here, and hopefully it helps you feel a little bit more comfortable about this topic. One of the most frequently asked questions I get from people who are considering moving to St. Johns County has most definitely got to be about hurricanes. So if you're not familiar and you're just watching the news, it can make you really nervous if you're considering moving here. So I did a little bit of research and I found this information. It said, so the category, like the hurricane category, whatever, when they created that was 167 years ago. And so in 167 years, this area, Northeast Florida, has seen 26 hurricanes, and only one has been registered as a Category 3. And so just because there's a hurricane coming to this area, like in Northeast Florida, St. Johns County, doesn't mean necessarily that you're going to be impacted. I kind of describe it as like if you're coming down from the Northeast, it's kind of like how I would describe like a nor'easter, where it's just a long period of wind and rain. And of course, this depends on where you live. If you're like right at the beach, you'll probably want to evacuate. But again, before you're moving here and you find a property you're interested in, you can find out if it's in a flood zone or if it's like in a hurricane evacuation zone, to kind of help you make your decision and make you feel better about hurricanes. So if you have any questions, drop them below. Lastly, because, Jacksonville in of itself is, the largest city by landmass in the U.S. And then St. Johns County has this area down here, like St. Augustine, which St. Augustine's part of, like it was just used to be all farmland. And so over the past, I'd say maybe 10 years or so, all these new communities and neighborhood, like it's all been building and it's continuing to build up. But again, it used to all be farmland. So there's a lot of areas, especially if you're looking at one of these new communities like Rivertown or Shearwater or Trailmark, that can kind of seem rural, like you're not, it's not in like an established community yet. So just like if I went out here, like on the corner of my daughter's school and took a left, there's still like a field that has like a field of longhorns in there. Or, there's a farm down the road. There's, equestrian, horse field, whatever. So you get my point. It can seem a little rural. So if you're coming from a bigger city, this may be an adjustment for you. Right now, where I'm living, I have to drive 20-25 minutes to get to a Trader Joe's or a Target. It just isn't as established in certain areas as it would be like if you're in a bigger city or in a more established. So that's what you have to think about when you're considering St. Johns County is, it's part of the growth process. I hope you found this video helpful. As always, here's my contact information again. Let me know what maybe you're most freaked out about considering moving here in the comments below. I'll be happy to address it. And again, if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and like this video so I can even reach more people. And as always, I appreciate you, and until next time.